Overview of the DPL Closure and Joins Report. This tutorial provides an overview of the Closure and Joins Report in DPL for survey industry users. The Closures and Joins Report has been developed by Land Services SA to provide the surveying industry with closure and survey mark joins comparisons directly from DPL plan lodgement, and it's intended to be used by industry when uploading the DPL CAD files prior to plan lodgement. The new DPL Closures and Joins report will calculate closure polygons of lots and allotments, easements, the bold black line and construction parcels, and it will highlight errors and calculate closures results and provide a joins report. The following video will demonstrate an overview of the Closures and Joins report within DPL plans lodgement. For validations, we log on to Salus as normal, go to Lodgements, Digital Plan Lodgement. We can create a plan, as you know, or we can edit an existing plan. I'm just going to run down to the Uploads tab here. And this is all as it was, so just using the drag and drop in order to upload a DWG file, or of course you can click into the field and navigate to your folder and select your DWG from there. So this is all processing as normal, does your virus scan, kicks off with the CAD standard validations onto PPR, and then it will generate the TIFF. Once your CAD standards and PPR validations have run successfully, the TIFF will generate. Once that has generated successfully, then a new tab is available on the left-hand side underneath the Uploads tab called the Diagram tab. So the Diagram tab is where you're going to find all of your closures and joins reports and the diagram. So just clicking on the Diagram tab, we have a map with some background information. So this helps orientate us with our data in place. We've got some survey marks here, so it's been able to geographically locate this plan. We've got some road data, some details of the surrounds around our plan. The lines have been generated. So these are a diagram representation of the label data that was supplied in the DWG file. So we've processed that digital data and we have constructed it here. We've got some parcel identifiers from your DWG, some point numbers which are used to construct the closures, survey marks. So the survey marks have been picked up from the blocks in model space, and also the reference marks information on the reference marks panel on paper space on your plan. And we are also showing some label data here. So your distance labels and your bearing labels and your chainage labels are shown in this diagram over the top. We can filter some of this information. So our label data, we can filter that out, which is helpful for larger plans. We can also toggle off the background as well, if need be. We don't have to zoom too far out with this plan, so we can leave our information on without any problems. So over on the left-hand side, the default is the Diagram tab. We have a joins report, and we'll look at that in a moment. There is an Edit Diagram Lines button, and this gives you a list of all of your line data that has been picked up, all that digital information that's come through on from your DWG. And there's an export button here where you can download as a CSV or you can print to a PDF. The summary of parcel validations is pretty important. On some larger plans, it's good to do a comparison between what you know would be the amount of allotments that you would be showing on a plan to what has actually come through within the diagram. So if the plan's been drafted correctly and the correct layers have been used for the CAD standard, then there should be no issues with the data coming through, but it's good just to double check that if you've got 20 allotments, that all of them have come through into your closures file. We've got a drop down here, which the default for the drop down is to show errors. We don't have any parcels listed in our errors list because we've had all of our closures have been successful. We've got a list of parcels here. This gives us a status, so our parcels are all have no errors, so they've all been successful. The calculated area is the area that is calculated from your closures, and we pick up the area label from the DWG as the stated area, and we do a comparison between what the closures calculates and what you've shown as your stated area label. Errors and overrides in this column here, so any errors would show up as a count, and there's a zoom button so you can zoom to your parcels, which again is really helpful for those larger plans where you might want to go directly to a parcel. There's a show details button here. What this does is it gives you a bit more granular detail with your closure. It will give you your misclosure bearing, misclosure distance, the allowable misclosure, and the status. So in this case, our misclosure distance and bearing is under tolerance, so it has passed. Underneath that, we can just see the traverse, and we can go zoom in to each one of those lines that have made up our parcel. For the joints report, this joints report provides a little bit more detail. So our from mark, our to mark, and then it works out the MGA distance and the MGA bearing and does a comparison between that and the plan distance and the plan bearing. It will give us a difference and the tolerance that it's used. The last column is the scale factor for the plan, which has been used for the calculations. And there's a graphic representation here. So in this case, we've got 3 joins. They've all been successful, and so it's given us a green tick. If one of the joins had some issues, was outside of tolerance, for instance, if the distance was outside of tolerance, then, for example, the plan distance may be highlighted in red, and it will show in bold with an underline within the data itself. And then across here on the right hand side, this graphic symbol would be an exclamation mark, and it would be nice and clear that we need to go and give that join some attention. The joins will show the height that's been used and also the plan category. In this case, we've used an urban tolerance. If we'd had a plan that was in the Adelaide CBD, it would default to the Adelaide tolerance. And we do have an override plan details button here, so you could toggle it onto rural if need be. Back to our diagram tab, and we can show marks here. So we've just seen the joins report, but we've got a list of the marks here. Again, this will give us an update of the status. We can go and show a bit more detail. It will zoom in to that survey mark. We can hit one of the other marks, and what we get is the path that it took in order to calculate its position, where it's done its comparison for its joins calculation. So we can see it going from one mark to another mark and so forth.
And so what this has done is it's picked up the connection information that you showed in the reference marks box on the DWG. It will use that to get to the corner, and then it will use label data to traverse from one mark along the boundaries to another. And we can see that path that it's taken here. And just back to the joins report, there is an export button here also, so we can download as a CSV and we can print straight to PDF for that as well. And that is our overview of the closures and joins report in DPL.